Hey guys, Christy here. I wanted to do a video today that offered you a sample of extended exhalation breath. This breath is absolutely a wonderful technique to help you relax the nervous system. It actually stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of the fight and flight. So when you do an extended exhalation breath, what it does is it tells not only your mind to relax, but also it tells your body, your muscles, and your nervous system that you are in a safe place and that it's okay for you to let go and relax. So if you would like to do this seated, certainly you can. I recommend doing this laying down. So I want to give you a few moments here to just find a comfortable space, whether that is laying down on your bed or laying down on the couch or a yoga mat on the floor. And again, if you prefer to do this seated, you can. Just make sure that you feel as though you're supported and you're not really having to engage your muscles to hold your body up. So take your time doing that right now. Once you do find that comfortable place where you feel like you can rest, know that you will tend to cool down as you relax. So if you are cold-natured, I would recommend putting a blanket over your body, making sure that you are in a space that is free of distractions to the best of your ability, whether that be other people in the room, pets, loud noises, etc. And once you've come into that space where you want to relax, give yourself the permission, the opportunity to move around, make any of those final adjustments that you feel need to be made, so that once we start our session here, you don't feel like you need to move a lot. Although it's certainly okay to move, know that each time you move, it does take you a little bit out of the relaxation that you've worked so hard to get into. Now, for those of you who have already found your space, you'll let your eyes gently close. If you're still working on finding that space, you have a few more moments here. Make any final adjustments, and then closing your eyes as well. And once the eyes are closed, I just want you to begin by noticing the breath. Right? You're simply observing the fact that you are breathing. You notice the breath as it's coming in to the nose. You notice the breath as it's coming out of the nose. And perhaps even observing right now the differences between the two. Right? So on the inhalation, noticing how you can feel this cooling sensation coming into the nose, possibly following that through the sinuses, down the throat, and moving into the torso, in whichever part of the torso this breath is naturally flowing. And just as you follow that inhalation, you do the same with the exhalation. You follow it out. So that place of expansion in the torso, on the inhale, you now notice this sensation of softening. almost a sensation of dropping down and getting heavy. And then you can follow that up the throat, through the sinuses, and coming out through the nose. And perhaps even observing this very gentle warmth touching the upper lip. Something else you might start to observe are the pauses. We call these retentions in the breath. So that you inhale and the coolness comes in, the torso expands, and then there's this little pause. It's very subtle, very gentle, that helps you transition into the exhalation, where you feel the body dropping, relaxing. You follow the warmth as it touches the upper lip, coming out through the nostrils. And then again, this retention, this very gentle pause that helps you once again to transition into the inhalation. And I'll also note that it's very normal and very common for your mind to move away from the breath. To become distracted by thoughts, by inner dialogue, by sensations. So when you find that happening at any point in time during your practice, the only thing you need to do is become aware and then come back to the breath. And one thing I like to say in my teaching is that instead of noticing that distraction and thinking that you're doing something wrong, think of that distraction as a tool that is helping you learn how to become aware of it, and a tool that is helping you learn to be focused and coming back to the breath. The breath is always moving, and each breath is always different. So it's giving us something to be consistently aware of. Now at this point in time, you've had an opportunity to let the body relax, knowing that in time the mind will follow. And you're going to begin to count to yourself, how long is my inhalation? How long is my pause? How long is my exhalation? And how long is my pause? And for right now, not worrying about what those numbers are, but just counting it, being aware. And as you're doing that, perhaps even noticing the body dropping a little bit heavier and deeper into relaxation. Perhaps noticing that the flow of the breath is becoming smoother. And now I'm going to see if you can make both of those retentions, those gentle pauses, can you make them the same number, even in length? And as you work on making the retentions even in length, you will now begin to also focus on the duration of the inhale and the duration of the exhale. Depending on what those numbers are for you, you will move into one of the following techniques. If you found that your inhalation was longer than the exhalation, you will begin to extend the length of the exhalation so that it is the same length as the inhale. If you found that the exhalation was already the same length as the inhalation, you're going to keep the inhale the same, and you're going to make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. If you found that your exhalation was already longer than the inhalation, your next step will be to make the exhalation so that it is twice as long as the inhale. I personally do not believe in recommending that people breathe to any specific number, so this is just an example. For an example, if your inhale and your exhale were both a count of 4, you're going to move to an inhale of 4, exhale of 6. If you found that you are already at an inhale of 4 and exhale of 6, you keep the inhalation at 4 and you move the exhalation to 8. And you work there. And you work there until you have multiple breaths. Maybe 4 breaths in that new pattern before you progress to the next step. Also keeping in mind that the retentions, those gentle pauses, are still even in length. And if at any point in time you feel like you can linger in those pauses a second or two more, you are welcome to do that. Just keep them the same number, the same duration. Long, slow, smooth inhalations. Gentle pause. Longer, slower, smoother exhalations. Gentle pause. Repeat. So we've already explained the first three options of where you might be. And you can progress to that next option after you've taken several breaths. So if you were somebody who was working on making the in and out breath the same number, if it feels okay, your next step is to keep the inhale the same, make the exhale longer than the inhale. If you're at the stage now where the exhale is longer than the inhale, you're working on making it twice as long. So it's a 1-to-2 ratio, inhalation to exhalation. If you are at the stage where your exhalation is already twice as long as the inhalation, your next stage is to increase the inhalation by 1 count and then make the exhalation twice as long as that, which is 2 counts. So if you were breathing in for 4, pausing, out for 8, pausing, it feels good. That's just an example. Then you go to in for 5, pausing, out for 10, pausing. If that feels good, and you do that several breaths, you breathe in for 6, you pause. Breathe out for 12, you pause. So as you're working on whatever place you are in right now, knowing that simply by extending the exhalation, you are receiving the relaxation benefits. Your mind will relax. The muscles in your body will get the signal that is okay for them too to relax. And when you find comfort in the place where you are and you feel you're ready to move forward, then you move forward. And you go a little bit deeper with the exhale. And you may rest here and practice this for as long as you like. Know that you can reference this video anytime you need to be still, to get rid of some stress, some anxiety, some thoughts, tension in the body. Reconnect with the inner self. This video is here for you. Again, staying here as long as you like, as long as you choose. I will sign off by saying I appreciate you. I hope that you continue to fill up your cup, that you continue to give yourself all the wonderful things that you need and that you deserve. Peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, peaceful intentions. Namaste.